Is anyone curious about Meghan's next move? She's always calculating. If you think Meghan's been quiet lately, think again. She's gearing up to tackle a bigger conspiracy. I still wonder if she's planning to take over the British royal family. Her recent actions raise a lot of questions. She not only pulled Prince Harry away from royal duties, but also seems to want control over his life, from his friendships to major decisions. Is Meghan really aiming to be the new power in the royal family despite all the obstacles? Or is this just a step in a grander plan to make her mark on the world stage? Meghan's bold actions not only confuse fans but also raise a serious question. Is the British royal family at risk of being overpowered by an ambitious outsider? Meghan probably thought she could join the royal family and charm an old woman who adored her grandson. She believed her devotion to Harry would win over Queen Elizabeth II. However, Meghan didn't realize that Elizabeth had already dealt with many clever manipulators, con artists, and social climbers. The Queen had outsmarted them all. Elizabeth II was an expert at spotting the real from the fake. Her vast experience meant she immediately understood Meghan's intentions the moment she saw her. Meghan, influenced by too many Disney movies, imagined marrying Harry, living in a palace, wearing a crown, and having servants cater to her every need. When she discovered she couldn't keep the designer dresses and clothes given to her, she was shocked and furious. Meghan soon realized she had to pay for the designer items she wanted to keep. After settling in, she invited friends over for dinner at the castle, but learning she had to curtsy to Prince William and Catherine, Princess of Wales, was the last straw. She would never be on the same level as them. Frustrated, Meghan packed her things, left, and returned to the USA, complaining all the way. Her pride wouldn't allow her to accept the situation. She wasn't getting paid and seemed unaware of the millions she was spending. Meghan expected her bank balance to grow as a royal, allowing her to spend freely. Whether she was naive about royal life or thought she could manipulate her way through it, we'll never know. It's sad for Queen Elizabeth II and Prince Philip, who had hoped for the best possible outcome. 5 years ago, if Harry and Meghan had been engaged for a longer period, Meghan might have understood what being a royal entailed and discovered Harry's true net worth. It puzzled me why an American actress would want to serve the British monarch, the British people, and the Commonwealth. It seemed to be about fame or money. If Harry had listened to his grandfather and brother and extended the engagement, he might have seen Meghan's true character and changed his mind. She couldn't have maintained the act forever eventually. Her true self would have shown. Initially, Meghan was popular because few people knew her well. I also didn't realize that Harry was Queen Elizabeth's favorite grandchild. She must have known how much effort went into protecting his true nature from the public eye. If people knew what Harry was really like, they would never have thought he was fun and likable. Meghan probably saw his flaws from the start. The mistake was underestimating how terrible Harry truly is and his willingness to betray his family in shocking ways. He has shown abuse of the elderly, lying, betraying secrets, and revealing confidential information like the layout of homes. This is just the beginning. His betrayal runs deep, with layers of pure evil. Piers Morgan was one of the first to call out Meghan, but because of his own reputation for being blunt and rude, many thought he was unfairly harsh on her. I remember ITV received thousands of complaints against Piers. Meghan played the victim, but over time it became clear that Piers had a keen eye for seeing people's true character. I doubt it. Meghan has a narrow focus. If it's not about her, she doesn't notice. How else could she keep making public mistakes? She seems to have no shame and continues to spread her negative influence wherever she goes. Meghan has to live with the fact that she wasted her chance to rise in the royal family before she was forced out. Her attempts at revenge have only backfired, yet she continues her schemes. No disrespect to Americans, but Meghan shares the views some Americans have about the royal family. She was very ambitious and thought that by marrying a prince, she'd become a princess and live in a castle. There's nothing wrong with ambition, of course, but Prince Harry should have explained to her that royals have to work. All royals work. The royal family doesn't get appearance fees, and it's certainly not a popularity contest. The line of succession doesn't change on a whim, which is unfortunate because Harry and Meghan were so popular and had the goodwill of the nation. With the passing of the late Queen, they would now be very senior royals. Before I receive criticism, remember that the royal family costs each British taxpayer roughly £1.30 a year, which is about $1.80 a bargain. The royal family may seem old-fashioned to many, but it's our tradition. So please mind your own business, world. If you wish to insult us, look after your own issues and who you have living among you. It's possible Meghan is too ambitious and feels she hasn't gotten what she wants from the royal family. Meghan wanted to be the star of the show, but her ignorance knew no bounds. The royal family quickly put her in her place. When the bullying accusations began, Meghan realized she couldn't get her way, so she decided to leave. Thank goodness she thought she could change the monarchy and take the lead role. However, she behaved recklessly, and the royal family and staff saw right through her. Harry, acting like her obedient follower, threw tantrums whenever anyone questioned her behavior. I thought once they left, we could all breathe a sigh of relief. But Meghan had other plans. As her popularity waned, she started spreading spiteful lies about the royal family. Now, she and Harry are becoming laughing stocks. Their lies can easily be disproven. Meghan claimed she didn't get what she wanted from the royal family, but what she wanted was truly unacceptable. She's shameless and thick-skinned. Meghan wanted to be a senior royal, expecting to stand alongside William and Catherine. She didn't like having to curtsy to those of higher rank or adapting to the family's confines and traditions. She managed to change Harry but couldn't change the rest of the family. Frustrated, she left for Canada thinking she could return on her terms, but that didn't happen. So she stamped her foot again and moved to Los Angeles, still wanting things her way with the royal family. Not only did Meghan not get her way, but she was also told she couldn't use the Sussex brand to make money. The Queen started taking privileges away, possibly hoping Meghan would realize she wasn't the center of attention the Queen was. Meghan likes to give the impression she has many celebrity friends, but she doesn't. For example, George Clooney admitted he had never met her before her wedding. He and others attended to be near the Queen. Oprah is only her friend to get the inside scoop when things fall apart. However, Oprah might distance herself if she realizes this friendship is hurting her own popularity. Meghan wants to be an influencer within the royal family, but she can't be. The real influencers are the young senior royals. She is jealous of Catherine for marrying the older brother and getting the role Meghan wanted. Meghan isn't a team player, which is why she left the Fab Four group. She had a perfect opportunity to make a positive impact, but she craved adulation and attention, which the royals don't seek. When things don't go her way, Meghan seems determined to undermine them, much like she did with her own family. Despite all her research, she doesn't truly understand the royals, and that's why her efforts will likely fail again. Meghan seems to want to be the star of a real-life soap opera. Maybe she should have joined the cast of The Crown instead of marrying into the royal family. Perhaps she's hoping they'll let her play herself. Honestly, I wouldn't put it past her. It's important to evaluate people positively based on their current actions and character, regardless of their past, whether good or bad. But Meghan's case is different. She brings up her troubled past because she has not been exemplary in her behavior. Recently, she visited an organization in Bristol that assists sex workers, offering nighttime support with sandwiches and hot drinks. Meghan used Sharpies to write uplifting messages on bananas included in the lunch boxes, hoping to show her commitment to these organizations and their causes. It was a refreshing gesture, albeit controversial. Meghan could have continued her charitable work in her own unique way. Personally, I had hoped that when Harry married, they would live in Africa, overseeing his charity work with Centerville and his mother's Halo Trust. They could have enjoyed a fulfilling life, both in and out of the public eye, serving Queen and country without the constant media scrutiny. This would have had nothing to do with his former long-term girlfriend, Chelsea, who also has ties to Africa. Africa would have been a logical choice as it is central to the Commonwealth. Apart from the tacky and self-centered banana messages, which were more about Meghan than the real suffering of people, you're right. For years, Harry expressed that Africa was where he felt happiest and where they could have made a significant impact with their charitable work. Instead, Meghan and Harry now live in luxury in Los Angeles, earning millions from media deals. It contradicts their supposed compassionate image. They seem more interested in being as wealthy and famous as possible. Meghan, a soap actress with moderate success, got her golden ticket into royalty and then, in pursuing her ambitions, has hurt people along the way. I don't believe for a moment that Meghan seriously considered suicide while pregnant and with a supportive husband who has access to mental health resources. This narrative seems part of a larger strategy, especially given her race and mixed heritage. When it suited her story, Meghan appeared simply ambitious, greedy, and self-obsessed to an extent that most of us can't comprehend. She comes across as manipulative and calculated. She knew exactly what she was doing in that interview, but despite potentially gaining wealth and fame, she won't command the same love and respect as the Queen or Catherine. People can see through her facade. Her skin color has never been the issue, it's her character that matters to people. There's no need to discuss this further. Harry, unfortunately, hasn't fulfilled expectations as a royal figure. He lacks a castle, a position in the line of succession, and adherence to royal norms. Meghan didn't grasp royal protocol or her role in the family, which is steeped in centuries of tradition. While Harry seems content with disrupting the royal status quo, the repercussions remain divisive within the family hierarchy. If it were still the medieval era, Harry might have harbored delusions of ascending the throne, believing he could govern better. Instead, they both did what they do best: ran away. Now, amidst endless books, interviews, and their celebrity status, Prince Harry and Meghan Markle seem to feel entitled to a living, portraying themselves as victims of circumstance. They appear to have forgotten that they are no longer central members of the British royal family, despite the glamour and illusion of their status. It's ironic that they expect police security funded by British taxpayers, considering their divisive decisions to distance themselves from the royal family. Having relinquished royal rights and responsibilities, do they truly deserve this privilege? Their demand for public protection highlights their detachment from reality and the strain on public finances. For many, it's not just an unreasonable request, but also evidence of their waning sense of duty and accountability to the British people. Meghan desires blacked out cars, bodyguards, motorcades, and rooftop snipers to showcase her importance. Yet, she remains a mystery, neither a diplomat, humanitarian, nor philanthropist. She lacks a profession or notable talents, appearing shallow and lacking in substance. Unlike world travelers who entertain billionaires and sheiks on yachts, Meghan has no such credentials. Her request for extensive security as a private citizen, funded by taxpayers outside the UK, raises ethical concerns. While she no longer resides in the UK, where carrying firearms is prohibited unlike in the US, she feels more at risk there. This perception renders highly skilled UK security measures futile in her eyes. She appears entitled and wasteful, expecting everything to cater to her desires without considering the broader implications or financial responsibilities. It's time for Harry to reconsider the agreement he made with the late Queen when he and Meghan decided to step back from royal duties and settle in the US. As private citizens, they've chosen celebrity status over royal responsibilities. Harry now prefers to be seen simply as himself outside of his royal title. He argues he deserves the same level of security as any U.S. citizen, including government officials like the president, vice president, and Congress members. However, unlike these public servants, celebrities such as rock stars, singers, actors, and athletes typically cover their own security costs. If the Sussexes receive taxpayer-funded security, why shouldn't Serena Williams, Travis Kelce, or the Kardashians? These celebrities earn their money through their careers on stage, screen, or sports field, not through birthright or marriage. Writing a sensationalist memoir like Harry's masculine version of Mommy Dearest doesn't justify taxpayer-funded protection. Otherwise, every scandalous author could demand similar privileges. In reality, I don't believe the couple or their children are in any real danger, except perhaps from enthusiastic crowds welcoming their return to the UK, where some may behave as if they are still essential members of the royal family. Since leaving royal service, they have been vocal in their criticisms and have distanced themselves from royal traditions. Despite Meghan continuing to use Harry's title prominently, few are genuinely swayed by her efforts to maintain relevance and loyalty. They may encounter heckling or minor disturbances like being booed or even an egg thrown by overzealous royalists or protesters. Nevertheless, it's worth noting that large public events will likely have extensive police presence, close protection officers, and comprehensive security measures. Like other members of the royal family, they have the option to drive themselves or arrange private security if they choose to visit friends or attend private events. Ultimately, it's their decision to weigh the risks. If they opt for brief, publicized visits to charities or organizations for PR purposes and Netflix documentaries, they should anticipate heckling and widespread disapproval. Meghan, likely seeking attention and sympathy, may portray herself as a victim. In my opinion, keeping a low profile would be advisable. If Meghan were to incite disturbance and then shift blame onto others, it wouldn't be surprising. Any intelligence indicating a threat to them would undoubtedly be briefed to King Charles and Prince William, although the public remains unconvinced. Harry's unplanned visits rarely generated enthusiasm. For many, his departure to his own secluded realm in California brought relief. This isn't meant as an insult to Californians, but rather a reflection on Harry's newfound isolation in his own imagined world, complete with chosen hens, custom wooden seats, throne rooms, and separate beds. What planet does he currently reside on? It has come to the point where it's evident that both husband and wife are problematic in this household. Meghan Markle and Harry may persevere, but Meghan's consistent mistreatment of others makes me skeptical of their chances. Meghan Markle sadly has a history of mistreating people. She distanced herself from her father to the extent that he passed away without reconciling, never meeting his grandchild. She also left much of her family behind. Once she gained fame, Meghan cut ties with many friends, including a dear friend who stopped speaking to her due to her mistreatment of her first spouse. Despite being a multimillionaire, Meghan has refused to assist her struggling nephew and allegedly mistreated multiple employees, leaving at least 7 of them feeling mistreated. Additionally, she reportedly did not support her homeless brother. It's clear that Meghan's chances in marriage are slim, especially considering her past behavior, where a brief separation was enough for her to end her first marriage abruptly and heartlessly. Royal marriages have historically been challenging to sustain. They require more than just love, they demand resilience and grace under pressure. Often, couples part ways due to the immense responsibilities and expectations placed upon them. Royal duties can be demanding and unforgiving. Meghan's idealized view of royal marriage seems focused on enjoyment without the commitment to hard work. If she was quick to abandon her first husband when he couldn't dedicate every moment to her, it suggests a pattern that could be detrimental to any relationship, regardless of Harry's actions. Royal marriages aren't fairy tales, they involve significant sacrifice and dedication. Meghan's tendency to discard people when they no longer serve her needs poses a serious challenge for any long-term commitment, as evidenced by her past behavior. I honestly believe she will eventually leave him, playing the victim card, possibly even invoking race issues, and capitalize on TV shows and interviews once the initial honeymoon phase fades and challenges arise. Meghan has also been accused of cheating on her then boyfriend Corey Vitello with Prince Harry. In May 2016, Meghan and Corey were still in a relationship. Harry claimed in an interview that they met in July 2016, shortly after Meghan and Corey broke up. Meghan inadvertently revealed in an interview that she met Prince Harry in May 2016 while still dating Corey. Not only did Meghan acknowledge meeting Harry while with Corey, but 2 other sources have also corroborated this. Despite wishing Harry all the happiness, I doubt their relationship will endure. But Markle, as history has proven, leaves her friend's husband and family behind when they are no longer beneficial to her. She is only focused on herself and her celebrity. Meghan has now convinced Harry to move to California, where divorce courts are renowned for always rendering women favorable divorce rulings. She will get half of Harry's net worth, plus some when his divorce is settled, say, "Not that I did not warn you." Meghan will essentially never part from Harry. Despite his dislike of the royal family, he is quite valuable in terms of her now royal children and royalties. Meghan works as a loose cannon, inconsistent and unreliable on all levels whatsoever. She simply rolls from one thing to another in life. Harry's link to royalty is her aces, her children. She will grow tired of him and move on, but the drama he produces will thrill her no end, and I will only pray for Harry. He crammed quite well. Well, that's all for today's video. Thank you very much for watching our video, and I want to know what you think about these issues. Please express your opinion in the comments below. Hope you will always be cheerful and happy. Don't forget to support us by liking, sharing, and subscribing to the channel. Goodbye, and see you again in the next videos.